And now, without further ado, I have the distinguished honor and privilege of presenting to you the Queen of Color, the Mother of Artists, globally acclaimed, award-winning master acrylic artist, and the star of our show, Ginger Cook, as she once again mesmerizes her audience with the daring do's and don'ts of painting with acrylics. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, John. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ginger Cook Live, our fabulous Monday evening show where we're going to be painting a magnificent ode to purple, which is our wheelbarrow with flowers and a purple background. Should be fun, right?
I should be. I'm excited
Is that a yes and a yes? Yes,
That's
yes?
a yes and a yes.
Is that a yes and yes? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to welcome everybody. We're getting a chance for people to kind of show up now that we're live. It's always a few people trickle in a little bit. Trickle in. That's good, right?
Yeah,
like trickle down economics. Remember that?
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah, trickle in. So I'll just give you a hint. We're doing an 8x10 canvas, and we're sort of painting it a purple-blue color. But if you got Dazzling purple, that's fine, or purpley blue color, and dry it 8x10. And I did this. I was really just trying to find something that would be very entertaining for you guys to paint, something new, something fresh, something different. And I probably went through 4 or 5 pictures that I said, oh, nope, too difficult, keep it for the Academy, we'll give it to one of our members. Next one, John says, you got anything yet for these guys on Monday night? Nothing, right? Every time I came up with a painting, I decided that, could I teach this reasonably in an hour and a half? Probably not. So we moved it on, because as you know, we have an Art Academy, and then we also have our YouTube show. So I think tonight I've really nailed it. I've got this. You're going to get this easily, even though it looks complicated. Don't run away now. I'm going to break this down step by step. I'm going to show you how to just, transfer the drawing on. So simple, okay?
And we do have a traceable.
We do have a traceable.
The link is right there on the website.
And the link's on the website for anybody. And I think, and also I'm going to just break down with my chalkboard how I came to, the wheel and why we're doing it the certain way, the wheel of the wheelbarrow and so forth. So I'm going to hold this up before John goes back down. This is actually the painting we're doing. See?
Oh, that's breathtaking.
It's pretty, isn't it? It's all these beautiful purples. And one of the ways that I was sort of inspired by it is that one thing we do when we have a lot of leftover paint, what I like to do is just rather than throw it out, I'll take some 8x10 canvas, or John will, and we'll use up the leftover paint. Now, John had painted this purple and magenta color, this canvas. And it was really pretty. I said, I wonder what I could do with that. And I thought, man, that would be great for a field of flowers. So that was the genesis of this painting, sort of and really, I don't know that I would have come to it any other way. I was sort of inspired by it. We've got like stacks of these little odd colored canvases that sort of bring out the imagination. So that being said, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, guess what, you guys? We made 49,000 subscribers this last week. How cool is that? Only 1,000 more away from 50,000. You could be one of the ones that helps us get to the 50,000, and we would appreciate it if you do that. So thank you very much. Let's just show you our traceable. Anything else you want me to add here, John, before we get too much further?
Nope. Let me drop it down to the floor there.
Okay, so here's our picture, okay? And here's my canvas that I dried, okay? And here's the black and white of our wheelbarrow. All right. You notice we sort of got we got a little bit of light coming this way. All right, kind of coming this way. See how the light is kind of on top of that. This side's a little darker. We've got some of the flowers kind of highlighted right here. So what I want to do is I'll just take some Sorel transfer paper, and I'm going to tape it down to my canvas so it doesn't want to move. Let's just make sure it still works. This is really an old piece. I always tell you can keep using it. It still works. I tell you can keep using this stuff again and again. This has been used a lot, but I think we'll be okay. And what if you didn't have transfer paper? You're just sitting there and you don't have any. So what could you do? Well, one thing you can do is take some soft pastel chalk or some white chalk and print out something and then chalk the back of it and smear it around with maybe a little piece of absorbent cotton, and then do it a couple times and make your own transfer paper, and then do just what I'm doing. You don't actually have to buy anything. It's a little more messy, but it does work. So if you didn't have transfer paper, that's okay. You don't actually need it. Good to know, right? I'm going to just tape that right there. And now I'm going to tape this on here like that. I want to just tape it down. And somebody asked the other day, if suppose you were doing something really complicated and you wanted to be able to re-put your image that you were kind of tracing back on the canvas at a later date. How would you do that? Because, I mean, and line it up. Well, one thing you can do is, if you're a sewer, you know what I'm talking about. So one thing you could do was you could make some marks like this, okay, and like this, and then on the other side of the canvas, put a mark, do a few of these. Do you see what I just did? So then if you had to put it back, you could see where it went. Sewers do that, you know, little marks. Maybe a couple up here and so forth. So, you know, maybe you were doing a clipper ship or something really complicated, and it could be your, you know, it could be your own design too. For some of you, it's easier to draw it out on a piece of paper and work out all your design problems and then transfer the drawing on to your stuff. Oh, I just did this, but we didn't actually draw anything, did we?
I was kind of curious what you were doing, but
me too. I'm going, wow, having this. This is what they call.
You are that good. It automatically lay it on and traces it for you.
I'm just a senior moment here. Is that what they call that? Senior moment? You're going, wow. I just was off to painting it now. I thought we just explained the whole thing.
You are good.
Right?
I'm telling you, you're really good.
I'm telling you, that's good, right? Well, anyway, that's how you do it. Good to know. And then, as we've said before, take a pen. Sometimes this doesn't work.
Uh-oh. What do you mean it doesn't work?
No, this doesn't. Nothing happens. What I want you to do then is that your canvas, you may want to put a little piece of cardboard on the inside of here to make it a little stronger, and that sometimes works. And make sure you're pushing hard enough. So I'm going to just come down here like that, come here like this. It's interesting to me that our wooden box, I'll just come across here. I know where the wooden box goes and where our flowers go.
Let me answer a question here. They're asking what colors did I use on the original background. Was the ultramarine blue, the dioxane purple, and magenta.
Okay, I'm going to come down here like this.
Carol's asking if we're ready for the snow. Of course we're ready for the
snow.
Well,
apparently we've got a weather warning here. They've closed the schools tomorrow where Cinnamon lives. I tried to send her the notice about it. I'm sure she must know. John's mother works for the school system there in Humble, so I'm sure she would have told him. But, you know, Grandma feels like gosh, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Did you hear, kind of thing? And they go, oh, it's Mother. She's just wanting to say something. But it's very awful to get up in the morning thinking you're going to school and get everybody ready and find out there's no school, you know. So the kids think it's great, but the parents are going, yeah, but we went to a lot of trouble here. And okay, so here's my my spokes. I'm just going to do something like this. I'm not going to try and get too clever with these, with my spokes. And our wheel comes down around here like this. And then I sort of buried it under some flowers, but
just kind of hit it all.
Just kind of hit it off.
So we don't have to talk about it.
We didn't want to talk about it. I knew some of you wouldn't want to talk about it, so then we're not, right? We're going, thank you, Ginger.
I love how you do that. I don't want to talk about it. Just cover it with flowers.
I'm just going to come up here a little bit like that. Not quite as high as I was going to go, but just something like that, so I kind of know, right?
Hey, Linda, we'd like to thank you for the donation.
Oh, and I got to say, yesterday when you guys were donating, it was so great. And those of you who went over to our website, we'll be sending you thank you notes. That's just too awesome, you guys. We appreciate it so much. And we scholarshiped another person yesterday, so thank you so much.
Somebody asked a question. What was it? Oh, how does a black and white image help you with your painting?
Well, one thing about it is that if you look at a color wheel,
which you happen to have.
We happen to have a color wheel here. On most color wheels, there's what they call a grayscale. And what they found is if you were to just, you know, squirt some paint out on a piece of paper out of your tubes, and then you shot a black and white picture of them, most of them would fall within the first, the middle section of your gray. So there's not a lot of contrast. What a black and white picture does is helps you see where your contrast is. Do I need perhaps a few more light areas? Let me just show you what that would be, right? For instance, do I have a white chalk sitting over here? I do. For instance, I've got some highlights on here, but what if I needed, I'm just saying, how much better would this picture look if I had a few more white highlights up on top? See what that did? You know what I mean? Or maybe I needed a few more dark ones in here. Sometimes it helps you balance. It helps you get your lights and your darks. Make sure you have
Especially when
contrast.
you're doing a lot of like the yellow tones, they all register about the same.
Yeah, yellow actually registers actually lighter than white.
Yeah,
Did you know that on your grayscale? All right, so I think I've got this.
Now, can you just lift it up and check? Look at there. You happy with that? You're not convincing me on this one.
I don't know, John. Maybe I'm happy. I don't know. Happiness is a very obscure word. I mean, define happy. Define happy. I don't know. Did I get the inside of this too?
So it'd almost be worthwhile to use like a red pen or a different color pen than black. So
oh, absolutely. It would help you a lot. Different color. We should buy that. Note to self. Let's buy some colored pens.
What do you think?
Help you guys too, wouldn't it? Then you could say, "Hey, you forgot the whatever," right? Because chances are I did, right? Hey, lady, you forgot that. All right, let's lift that up. Do you see? Do we got it?
Well, so you didn't do the. I didn't think you see the front. The braces that go up on the front of the wagon?
I did. I put them right here and here.
No.
These here?
No, on the wall itself. Put it back down. Put the picture back down.
These?
Yeah, those guys.
Well, I don't think I needed those, but
oh,
okay.
I'm sorry. So how do you decide what you need or don't need?
Well, I have a pretty good memory, and I can look at the picture, and I'll notice that if I paint it white and add these things, it'd probably be the thing to do, right? I just like doing a puzzle, what stuff in there, right? So you have to decide, how much of it you think you could then look at the reference picture and still figure out where to put, right?
Okay. Just thought I'd ask that question.
Well, it's okay because someone asked it. It's okay. So it's not perfect, but it's the yellow isn't as good as maybe white would have been. But let's just get this out of the way. All right. So here we are, and it's on there, right?
It's beautiful.
So there it is. So then if I wasn't totally blown away by my transfer paper, I could, in a pinch, take some white chalk like this on a pencil, you know what I mean? And
do some refining work.
Do some refining stuff here so I didn't lose my, you know what I mean? If you were worried about losing your drawing, because it's kind of a little bit sketchy here, right?
I'm going to put the link to the traceable again on the website down there at the bottom.
Here's your cross pieces. And so I said I wanted to do something kind of like this. And I'm going to come up here like this. I'm just going to draw this in again because it didn't hurt to draw it in, right? There.
Well, the yellow gave you an idea, and I can just refine it.
I just probably didn't push as hard as I needed to either. But there we go, you guys.
Ginger and John, how did you get rid of your colds?
Time, and the time, I think eventually you have to get better. Either that or you're kind of dead. Just sort of either you're better or you're, that's sort of tragic. But, that's how we kind of, John got rid of his in a week and took me a little bit longer.
No, I don't
All right, so that's basically my thing. Now,
wait. This is a 2-cookie lesson?
Yeah. To our friend in the Caribbean who's sitting there with no printer going, Ginger, I don't get this. I need to do this. I don't have a printer. All right, so we're going to come in 8x10 canvas. We're going to measure. We're coming over here about 2 inches from the side. Okay, our wheel is about
3 inches top.
about 2 3/4 inches tall. Okay, and our wagon is slanted so that if you were to draw lines up here, they would come up to the top like that. So you mean they're slanted. These lines are slanted. Okay, this is about 2 3/4 inches wide here. The whole length of our wagon thing is about 7 inches from here to there. Okay.
The handle part.
The handle part. And the wagon is about 1 1/4 inches deep. This is about 1 1/4 inches, so a little bit longer. It actually goes up here a little bit, but it's buried by flowers. Okay. So there you go. So that's what we've got. And the wheel, and I want to mention this too, is everybody thinks this is a round wheel. It's not. It's oval. Now look, here's a round circular thing, right? Do you see the difference? This is round. So your wheel is, when you're drawing, if you're making this bigger, your wheel is more this shape. Okay? Can you see that?
It's on a slight angle.
It's on a slight angle, and then it's doing this, and it's lighter up here on the top. Right? And this is darker, and that's your wheel. Okay, so it's not this. All right, it's good to know. It's maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. Probably slightly wider than that, but it's more this than that. Okay, good to know. Well, because, for instance, we've got a kind of a neat wagon here. This is one from our, this is a palette knife tutorial we have on our website for our members. Here's another flower cart. Very similar, aren't they? It's very similar, but one's a little bit different shape, right? This is a little bit older, kind of old world. And again, this is you can see the wheels at a different angle, a little rounder. So I wanted to show you that because, you know, we have over 300 lessons for our members on our website, and there's everything from 1 cookie, 2 cookie, to a box of cookies. And I want to congratulate you guys who went back and did the 1 cookie lessons on how to use the angle brush and how to blend. Because if you can get that blending stuff down on this real simple things, it won't take you very long. It's like playing piano scales. You know, when people are learning musical instruments, they just don't start playing Beethoven. They start playing the piano in scales. And I remember when I was a kid going do 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 do.
Oh yeah, up and down the scales.
Do you remember that? Then this little thumb goes under here, and up you go, and you creep up. Well, I just thought that was just like the most horrendous waste of time. I can't tell you. I mean, you practically had to chain me to the piano bench, you know. As a kid, I'm going, yeah, we have a pony outside, we're doing this junk, and why am I learning how to play this? I kind of wanted to, but not do 20, 30 minutes of this a day. That was just like, oh my gosh, chalk on it. I couldn't stand it because nobody explained to me why I was doing it. I'm one of these people who has to know why I'm doing something. You know, some people just blindly do it. You got to tell me why. And if they had explained to me that what I was doing when I did that was that I was creating muscle memory so that anywhere my hand fell on that keyboard, I would know what the sound would be. It was not just muscle, it was hearing memory too. I'm on it going, oh, okay.
It's so really a lot like typing too.
Yeah, like typing, you know, Mrs. Beavis Meakin's typing tutorial, remember? I loved her and that typing thing. You know, I really learned to type using that more, though I took typing in the 9th grade. I learned how to type.
We all had to do that.
We all took typing, but I really learned probably the most from that program, that computer program, Mrs. Beavis typing tutorial.
Hey, Sherry would like to know, how does Ginger keep her creative mind sharp? Do you ever get blocked?
Yeah. No, but I'm gonna tell you about that, but I wanted to keep talking about why you want to do these back to basic lessons, okay? The reason you want to do these back to basic lessons is the same reason if you were trying to study a musical instrument, you would do the piano. It's not because you aren't beyond doing a penguin or an apple or one of these back to basics, how do you do a tree, how do you blend and so forth. But if you just take, you know, say, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes, I'm going to do that, okay? What you do is that you make the muscle memory and the color mixing memory and all that in your mind. It's very, very helpful. We'll use this later. So you want some cad yellow medium, cad red medium, and magenta. So somebody wrote today and asked us on our Facebook club, and incidentally, welcome new members. We took 48 new members overnight.
Yeah, yesterday
Congratulations for joining our Facebook club. We appreciate you. We love that artists are coming together to share their work, and some of you are knocking it out of the park. And I'm telling you what, you've asked some great questions. And this one lady said, you know, I can't afford magenta. And I can't afford cad red medium. So what can I do? Well, you can try to buy a less expensive brand of paint, say the Matisse Golden or Liquitex, heavy body. You got some good answers on Facebook. I want to just tell you something about reds, though. Here's the thing. Red, yellow, and blue are what we call primary colors. You can't mix them. That means you can't make them. You can't make a magenta. What you love about this painting, okay, are that beautiful magenta color. You can just take red and white all day long. You're not getting that. So certain colors, and even, you know, a color that's really almost impossible to make is like Pepto-Bismol pink, you know, that real hot pink. Really, we don't have anything. You almost have to go buy that as a specialty color. If you're talking about yellows and you're talking about reds, you really need to own them. You know, maybe you have to buy a less expensive brand or a smaller tube, that kind of thing. But that's one of the things. It's a thing. It's as important as your paintbrush. For when you, particularly if you're into flowers, magentas, and you know, I would say you can get by with cad yellow medium. But did you know if you have cad yellow light, you can't add white to cad yellow medium and make it? It's a different shade of yellow. Okay, so if you're into flowers, I'd say if you just wanted to know which you know, to buy some different paints, then my big suggestion would be buy see, what was my big suggestion? I forgot it now. Just, yeah, buy all the different reds. When you see a red you don't have, just get that. It's fun. If you're into flowers, buy the different yellows and reds. If you really like to do a lot of flowers. If you're doing a lot of flowers. I keep my palette very limited so people don't have to go out and buy all that stuff. But you asked me during Christmas, what should I get myself? That's what you could get. All right. So here's a little bit of magenta and a little bit of white. Like that, right? And I'm going to let's see, did I put the purple out? Gosh, no, I didn't.
I don't see purple or cad red, but...
I don't see any of that. What's wrong with this picture here?
You using mixing white tonight, or just have that?
No, I'm not mixing white. Did I put it out, but yeah. Just ignore it. I'm not using it. Well, I guess we could use it, but we're not. So, just we can use anything.
Well, you put a label out, you better use it. I mean, the label's going to feel unwanted.
Well, it's true. And incidentally, if you guys like these labels, I think sometimes it's nice to help you put stuff the way they go. I'm not saying that this is the best way to lay out your paint, but I've been doing this for so long, if I changed it, I'd confuse you all. There may be a better way to lay this out than I did. But whatever you do, try to do it the same every time so that again, muscle memory, your hand knows where to go when you need to grab a color, okay? Then take a tiny bit of purple and put in that, like 1%. Now I'm going to come up here like this, using the flat of a brush. This is just a stiff, bright brush. Okay, and I'm going around in a circle like that. This is my next layer of color. Okay, and then just wipe a little bit off. Come on under here, like this. Okay, maybe I'll get a little bit of ultramarine blue and add to that. That's pretty. Now look what happens. See, add a little bit blue. Everything in a bit acrylics is about layers. Does that make sense to you? So we'll take a little bit of this ultramarine blue and come on up here. We got this, when I was making the background for tonight, I got a little bit dark, but that doesn't matter. I can take a little ultramarine blue now and purple, tiny bit of white, just a little bit. Come along here, maybe lighten some of this up here a little bit like this. And I know for sure I want a little bit lighter over here, down on this side of our wheelbarrow. I want a little bit lighter, and then I'll come back into the purple, a little bit darker. Here we go, see? Just turn the brush over. And I get a little bit darker all back up in. I didn't want any of that yellow. Here, watch this. Oops. I guess that's still okay. A little bit of that purple. A little bit of blue. There we go. So I've got it a little darker in this corner. Let's take a little magenta and put in there. Let's see what happens if we do that. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, okay. Just kind of brighten that up.
Ooh, that's pretty.
I like that. Well, it looked good to me, so I did it, right? All right, so you kind of see this is sort of how we're doing it. We want it dark under here. And when I get down into this section, I'm going to put a little more white here, like this. And I'm going to come this way and add a little bit of yellow oxide to that. And just change this up here like this. Kind of go back and forth here a little bit. A little more pink. Want a brighter magenta right here. Now wipe the brush off and come up in here like that. I want something a little brighter here. Too much white. There we go. Really sort of pop in a few colors. All right. So see how we're kind of doing it. Maybe put a little of this color down here, like that. Okay. And if it gets too much for you, if that just screams, it's just that color screams a little bit too bright, then just put a little more purple with it. You can tone it down. Okay, but people kind of like this because it was sort of a pretty color, right? All right, so I've got this on the brush. Let's just take a little bit of white and a little ultramarine blue. I'm going to mix it in this purple color and pinch the brush. Come right down like this. Someone says, what kind of brush is this? This is a silver Cambridge, a bright brush. It's one of Cinnamon's. And these are good brushes. They're in the same line as the ruby satin silvers. They're not quite as expensive as those, and they're a little bit less money than the Bristol one. All right, so there's that kind of blue color here, gray blue. All right, now we're going to take some more white. Let's see, more white to that, like that, and wipe the brush. And then I'm going to come up here like this, as long as I'm doing it with, say, I want this lighter than here. Remember, this has got to angle up. Make sure these are angling up, these lines here. Make sure you've got a good angle on those. There. Okay, so that's probably about as much as I can do with this large brush. Anything else is just going to be a problem. So it's just going to stick in there, and then we're going to go back to our ruby satins. Now, what was the question about inspiration, right?
Before you do that, let me thank a few people that donated through the PayPal system here.
Oh, yeah, do. Oh, yeah, please thank everybody. Yeah, let's thank them.
Oh, everybody?
Well, everybody that
Sally,
donated.
Michelle, and Lucy, thank you very much for your donations.
Oh, gosh, that's so nice. How did they do that, John? I think some people, if they're new to this,
well, we have a link on our website, and during a live chat, the gals have got a way, the moderators have a way to pop it in there for you as well.
but if you could do that, and you could do that anytime, even if you weren't live. But if you're
Absolutely.
live, if we're live, they have YouTube has a special way to donate, but only for viewers that are live, right?
Right.
And I'm going to put a little more blue with this. It's got a little purple, a little more blue with this.
And I think we would like to also thank, hold on, they're still coming in. You guys are wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. We really, really do
Denise.
appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you very much for your donations, people.
Gosh, thank you.
We do appreciate it. Now, the question was, do you ever get blocked? How do you get so inspired? Where do you keep coming up with these marvelous ideas? Your paintings are marvelous.
Well,
okay, I exaggerated
I thank you very much. I mean, I really did, I suppose, I know blocked is one thing. I come up with things I want to paint, but for different reasons. I have tons of things that I've got paintings I've started, things I've got to turn into lessons. I got a lot of those, right?
We got about 10 of them right now, I'm
thinking. That I have to turn into lessons. And if you're wondering what color this is just yellow oxide, a little bit of white, and ultramarine blue, kind of this lime, kind of green color. So part of it is that I'll of course I always look for old dead artists, the old dead guys, to see what they painted that I could translate. And the thing is, when I first started doing that, I just missed so many images because, quite frankly, I didn't think we had anybody that was up to speed to paint it. But you've all gotten really good now. We've turned out some really good artists. So now I'm picking more challenging pieces because I know that you guys are up to doing them. But I still am looking for ones that are not hard to do either. We want some that are, very reasonable to do. And incidentally, purple, grays, yellows. So if you put a little tiny purple and yellow, it's not so bright. Let's see. There we go. I want to just do this here on our little leg back here. I think I'll put a little orange with that and turn it a little bit browner.
That would be cad red she added.
That was a little cad red I added there, and then I'll say this side is a little bit lighter on this. There you go. I'm using this little angle brush. See where my hand is? See where the finger is? Right like that, when I'm pulling it down. You see that movement? Yep. Or I'm working from my shoulder. Very rarely. And look, I want you to notice, this is important. You've got a video on YouTube. It's called, we did. You have it too if you want to watch it. It's called Can Your Brush Do That? So sometimes you think it's you, and it may be your brush. But you do want to keep this finger very relaxed. And if you have it really tight like that, you have no freedom of movement. You can't do anything. It's like being in straitjacket. So that, it's not that you couldn't paint. It's like it's nothing painting because you are you're constricting the flow of the movement of your hand. All right, so we're going to come up on the top of here like this, and let's get a little more white with that, and blue. And we're going to come up here like this. We'll put another coat of paint on here, but at least we won't lose our our outline of what we need to do. I want this a little bit lighter than that. Okay, so now let's see, as long as we're into these colors, let's do the inside of our wheel. And see, I like the brush like this. If you pinch it, you can reshape it, and then just get paint on one side, and then just see how I'm pulling it toward me. My little hand is bracing it. I'll pick it up, and then I'll just, I'm making the curve here, like this.
And don't be afraid to turn the canvas.
Yeah, if you have to, turn the canvas. Sometimes you can do this too. Where's my water? Here. Sometimes what you can do too when you're doing real delicate work is just put a little tiny few drops of water on the canvas itself, on your palette, but not necessarily on the paint, so that you can get a little flow here.
Hey, we'd like to thank Susan for the donation.
Oh, Susan, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. That is just excellently awesome.
So we come up with why you come up with so many ideas?
Well, I do. I'm looking there, right? And then, of course, somebody sent me I don't know, 30 pictures of gypsy wagons, and no, sorry, not inspired, but appreciate the effort. We do get people asking for things. I did do a wagon with some flowers. I felt sort of heard you. I mean, gypsy wagons, I don't think so, right? But you know,
well, just not yet. You haven't found the gypsy wagon you want.
I haven't found it yet. You know, when I was a kid, I went to summer camp in the San Juan Islands. This is sort of a magenta color here with a little bit of cad red in it, I think, and a little bit of white, a little bit of blue, ultramarine blue. There we go, perfect. On the San Juan Islands, and one of the things that they had was a gypsy wagon, like a playhouse for the kids. We actually had a gypsy wagon. It was all painted, you know, I don't know if it's a real gypsy wagon, but they had painted it like it was a real one. And it had all flowers, and we did puppet shows in it, and it was cool as could be, you know. A gypsy wagon, I remember that. Okay, so then I'm going to take a little, it's the purples, the dark purples underneath, and then in order for that wagon to show up, we've got to have to put some green next to it, and then you'll see the wagon wheel. Just kind of cool. I know, you know, if you guys are really fond of flowers, you know, and I know that we have a lot of vases and flowers and stuff. We do a lot of flowers. I look for flower things because I know you guys like them, but we do all kinds of other things too, and particularly on our website. But today I brought you some stuff that's on YouTube already. This was done. I don't know, a couple summers ago. This is called Pansy Garden. Isn't this pretty? And imagine this bigger with the flowers a little bigger. That's a YouTube tutorial, which I think is really pretty. Maybe one you haven't seen. I think it's really pretty. It's really kind of cool, and you know, we've actually got playlists of flowers. This is a painting on our website. This is called Garden Steps, but we actually had a YouTube video on actually how we drew it in, and the perspective on it. Look at all the colors in that. Again, when you're looking at something like this, and then I show you this, different style, but the flowers, you paint the flowers the same. See how these flowers aren't that different than the ones in there? Okay, so that's kind of cool, I think. So anyway, this is called Garden Steps. This is one, and you can make this really big. It's beautiful. That's on our website. We'll keep going with this. Anyway, those are some things. But I'm looking for stuff all the time that I think that I could teach you that would be interesting. And you've got, you know, we've got a couple other YouTube, you know, instructors that are teaching all kinds of stuff. I try not to do what they're doing. Sometimes we do an overlap, but not intentionally. I really don't pay attention to what anybody else is doing. I just do my own thing. And then sometimes it overlaps with people, and sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? But, you know, I certainly try to do our own individual things. I do like some of the photos from Paint My Photo. I spend hours looking at those guys and seeing if there's anything I could, you know, glean from that. They've got this thing where unless you write the artist, they want you now. They've sort of changed their rules. And when I first started working with them, they want you to you know, write the artist. You can use the picture, but if you show the picture in a video, then they want you to write the photographer, and I just don't have time for that. So half the time I won't show you the photograph, but I might tell you I got it on Paint My Photo, and you can go get it and look at it, right? This is really weird, but you could, right? Flowers, for instance, this painting right here, Flowers by the Bay. This is one that was on, this is a lesson that's on YouTube called Flowers by the Bay, and I actually did under a 10-minute challenge with cinnamon. I did this once all in palette knife. I've got a complete palette knife version of this. It's really cool too. Anyway, this one's called Flowers by the Bay. This is another YouTube flower thing. I just like to mention that because when you put as many videos up in YouTube, you get new people who are going, well, what can I do here with these people? Well, you can do all kinds of stuff. We have some great tutorials. Sometimes you say, well, if you got so many, what's the advantage of being an Academy member? We tend to do a little more detailed. We go back to we start with really teaching you how to paint. I mean, really instructive, hold a brush, how to blend, all that stuff. And then we go into some really crazy detailed lessons, right, on how to paint too. So real detailed lessons, and you get personal art coaching, which is sort of, and how does that work? Well, basically, what that entails is you can send me your paintings, and then I will make comments and send them back. Okay, and sometimes my only comment is, "Man, you did great." Why are you asking me? It looks good, right? And sometimes it's just, you know, this one thing, fix this one little thing, and it's perfect. And I had a woman today who sent me a painting from last week's lesson on the Tuscan door that we had. That's everybody's done that video, and I just love all the colors of flowers that people have come up with. Okay, had this Tuscan door painting, and I really liked it. But she had a little problem with the flowers. Well, you know, I sent her some suggestions on how to do the flowers. She sent them back. They were almost there. I sent it back again. I can't wait. I know she's going to get it, and I can't wait to show it to you when I get the final one, because this is really outstanding. Okay, I'm just going to put that in there so we know that that wheel's there. All right, so this was pretty fast, wasn't it? Aren't you sort of impressed? This is a little bluer, I think, than I want. If I want to gray a blue, I can add a tiny bit of cad red to it and a little bit of white, and that will gray the blue. Did you guys know that? Cad red medium will gray ultramarine blue if you don't want it that bright. This is why I love that. So I'm going to just go over this wagon again and just kind of tone that blue back. It was a little bright for me. Some of you may have liked it, and I'll put a little bit of this shadow up here, and then I'm going to take a little bit of white and lighten some of this up. This is where you sort of put paint on the brush, wipe it off, and kind of dry brush, barely touch it, just sort of. I'm not really painting this white, I'm just sort of scrubbing on a little bit of lighter color right here in the front, like that, maybe just trimming those little lines up like that, see? Just layers make a difference, and you know, even here, if I put a little bit of, maybe I want to add a little bit of light right there, see? And then, let's see, I think there was a little brace thing right there in here, like this, okay? Up here.
Does Ginger ever use black and
I have
yellow?
used black. We have used black. Is that the question? Do I ever use black?
No.
What?
Did you ever use black and yellow to make green?
Yeah, that's a good way to make it. You can certainly, but I rarely use black, so it just doesn't really come up that often, okay? So, but you can use black and yellow to make green. You see, I made this sort of reddish brown purple here. I want some of that color right in here, maybe like that. Maybe some of that over here. Let's just sort of got a little red purple color, a little more magenta to it. Here we go. Now, I think we're ready to put the flowers in. That's went pretty fast, didn't you think?
It went very fast.
I mean, I know you guys. I told you this could really be a one cookie lesson because you're kind of tracing it on. It could technically be that. One thing we could do is we take a little yellow, little phthalo blue, okay, like that. Make this bright Irish spring green. Add a tiny bit of magenta to it. Tone it down so it's not so bright, okay? Now, let's just come along here. Dash strokes, not going up and down, just like this. Let's just make a few little dashes, like Morse code, like this, and then over here, same thing. We want to put it next to our wheel so you kind of see where the wheel went. Saying that to sort of put that wheel back in here, see? And then what we'll do, and we'll bring that around, see? Then what we'll do is we'll add a little bit more yellow to that, maybe some yellow oxide, and we'll do a next little layer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop. You don't need to do a lot, okay? And then if we want to be the last of the big spenders, we might take a little white with that. And this just using your brush coming up like this, just any part of the wheel that you didn't love. You know, a little grass grow on it, okay? Like that. Something can grow up here like this. And then we'll put flowers later. All right, so that's our wheel. Let's make this a little darker. Let's put a little bit of this darker, brighter green in here in a couple places just to, like that. Okay, so that's the grass under our wheel. Rinse the brush, wipe it off. All right, so we're gonna put these flowers in. First off, we're gonna make a dark green. So phthalo blue, cad red medium, yellow, dark green, right? Maybe a little purple, okay? Dark green. Now, using your angle brush, all right, we've got purple already. So what we're going to say happened here is that right here on the corner, see this big glob of paint? I'm going to wipe that off because I was using the brush to mix paint with, and I got a big glob. I'm going to just tap on some green here, and I'm going to come down in little tiny dots, like little vines. Don't have to draw the vine in, just sort of connect the dots here. Okay, and if you're worried about this, dry everything ahead of time. Let's just come on in here like that and just make a little patch of green here. Maybe a little patch of green coming back up here like that. And something over the edge of this. A few little dots. Okay. And then maybe out here on the edge here, we'll do a little green vine, little dots. Now, let's get some yellow with that. Just put some bright yellow. Now, while it's still wet, because this is the front of the wagon, see? So I'm going to put a few little light green things here. Then come back into my yellow while it's still wet. Touch this. So I have the green. I'm doing that because I have the dark green underneath and then the little light bits of yellow on top. And I'm suggesting that this is the, lighter part of this. So I've got this light green here on the wagon. Maybe I'll put something right there. Okay. So now what I have to do here is dry the green before we do any flowers. Now we'll start doing flowers and then we'll come back and add green. I want to get that little bit of green in there first. Okay? So everybody's good?
You want to answer a few questions before you grab the
dryer?
Sure,
let's do that. Answer questions.
Julie made a comment. A lot of her pieces look like museum pieces, priceless.
Oh, yeah?
Well, that's what she's saying.
She's saying about what?
About your art.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.
How about painting the old cars in Cuba?
Well, we took some great pictures, and really, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We took some great pictures of the old cars in Cuba. Trust me, we really did. Took some beautiful pictures of the old cars in Cuba, and we definitely...
And buildings and stuff, yeah.
And buildings and stuff, we're definitely going to do that. It's interesting because we noticed that Royal Caribbean has got has added 2 more ports to Cuba for, I guess, 2019. They've added 2 more ports, I think.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So hopefully we'll get to go back to Cuba someday. But in the meantime, we've got some we were there 2 days and we got some great pictures. We've got sometimes our trips, one of the reasons I really like to travel is to keep the inspiration going. You can't sit in the studio all day and be inspired. You got to get outside and do something.
That's what we do. Hey, do you teach outside of your YouTube, your websites, like in stores or classes in buildings?
Well, I used to do these wine and painting parties for years, but I don't do that anymore. I do teach private lessons here in Houston occasionally, and in our studio we do a private class here once a week for a few people. That's but it's really like getting a private lesson. I'm going to start painting here as well. I think this is dry here. I've got a little yellow oxide. I'm going to start here with my base color, tap it in using just my corner. Any other questions? Yeah,
would Ginger be willing to show us how to do an ocean waves?
Well, I have showed you that one of the best videos we've got is an ocean wave, how to paint an ocean wave. There's 3 there on YouTube.
Yep.
Absolutely have got that. Sure. That's already on there. You've got one of the best ones. And then we got a wave and water masterclass for those who want to pursue it further. I'm going to come up here and do a few of these.
Ginger, can you go to one color of paint, then to another, and back and forth several times? How much paint do you actually put on your paint?
Not a lot, and you'll see me on the brush, and I'll wipe off a lot. This case, for the flowers, I know I've got this little pile of yellow flowers, and I'm using just the corner of my brush, and I'm just using yellow oxide. When you're painting flowers, the secret is you start with the shadow color first, and then you do the lighter colors on top, okay? So, and I can get away with the yellow. If I'm going to do like blues and stuff, because yellow and blue or green, I'll have to dry. But I know I'm going to come up here and have some of these little flowers. And see how the little dots, you want it uneven. What you don't want is little squares or blocks of flowers. You want this all sort of uneven and sort of feathered in here, okay? All right, so you can see where this is all coming in here through that.
Can I remove the shine from my dioxazine purple?
The dioxazine purple is really, really shiny. So what you really have to do is that you could add some matte medium to that, and that would dull it. And you can add that to your paint. Good question. That's a good question.
When you're completely done, just do a matte on the whole thing.
Well, you can matte the whole canvas, but if the one painting is too shiny, and it does have a tendency to shine and screw up your photographs and everything, you definitely can add some matte medium to it, or even ultramarine blue to it will kind of tone it down. Okay, but you're so right. It gets very shiny. Okay, now let's try a little. Let's move some yellow over here so it's not in the green.
Tammy would like to know, what is Ginger's favorite art museum anywhere in the entire world?
Well, Tammy, I haven't been to all the art museums in the world. I've been to a few. I mean, they all have their points, right? I was very impressed with, of course, the New York Mid-City Art Museum, the one in New York, and Houston's got a nice one. And I've been to the Prado, and that was pretty neat. And I've been to the Louvre in Paris, and then I've been to some smaller ones. But, you know, I'm always up for a good art museum. And the one in Philadelphia was pretty neat, and I'd like to visit the new one that they built in Philadelphia that has it's just an impressionist work. I'd like to visit that. Now look and see how this is showing up. Isn't that pretty? I mean, look at these. I just put the bright yellow on that right there. Isn't that kind of cool? So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different art museums. And, you know, you can visit art museums online anymore now. You can get on the computer and just type in art museums, and a lot of them have virtual tours. Did you guys know that?
John, what are you doing not to lose videos on YouTube? I don't know.
We don't know. We are, I think we're doing better, knock on wood. I think we're definitely doing better now. And I would say one of the reasons that we're doing better is we're using our laptop and not our main computer.
The laptop is giving us better throughput than the big iMacs.
Yeah, we had the big iMac computer, and I don't know, it wasn't doing anywhere near as well as the laptop was, so that could be something. Someone wants to know how we're, you know, doing that. Okay,
you know, we've stayed with the Mac. A lot of the other people are using PCs. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Well, we like the Mac, and I'm going to lighten this up here too, like this, right up on top here.
Hey, what is the name of those little notebooks that we painted that Daniel told us about?
Oh, I've forgotten. It's in our art kit, though. We have it somewhere. Don't we have a link to that somewhere?
No, I can't. I looked on. I don't even remember what they're called to look them up in the orders.
Okay, so I'm ready for a new color, you guys. All right. So I'm going to start with some magenta now.
You have to wait for that to dry yet, or you still?
Well, I think I can get by with them. Right here, I'm going to do some magenta. I'm going to tap some in here like that, the dark color first. Tap that in here like that.
Just stay in that area.
Yeah, stay in that area for the magenta like that. And let's see, did I have any? I think I had something back here, a little magenta flower, and maybe something back here.
Wendy, we'll have to get back to you on that notebook.
Okay, so thanks, Wendy. So we got that, and then I think I can take a little cad red medium and yellow and make a little orange color. Right, and I want to come up above this one. I can get away with that because yellow and cad red medium, or yellow and red, just red would make a nice orange. So I'm going to add some, just using these little dots now, just the corner of this brush, a few little dots, and lump them. They're not like stars. You're not doing doop, 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 like polka dots. This is not polka dots. These are all grouped together, little dots.
Are you using your 3/8 or your 1/4 inch?
I'm using my 3/8.
3/8 angle brush. That's her favorite.
And just saying
3/8, not the 1/4, which I thought would be the 1/4 on this, but she went 3/8.
Let's see, what is it? It's the 1/4. I lied.
Oh, it is a 1/4.
Look, you know me in numbers.
All right, it is a 1/4.
You know me in numbers. I don't know, something, Doc.
Oh, I know. 1/4 and 3/8, they look so much alike.
Why are you throwing them? You know, that's what I hated about the driver's test. You know, when you're first taking your driver's test, and they said, how many yards is it to the stop sign? I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 car lengths. I know what that is, but I didn't watch football. I didn't know how long. You know, I mean, it made no sense to me. I thought it was really geared toward another group of people.
There it is, sketchbook by Stillman and Byrne.
What?
Sketchbook by Stillman and Birn.
Okay, now I'm going to get some pure cad red in here. Brighten this up like that. Just a few little bits on top. Okay, like that.
Michelle, thank you for the donation. Watching your videos helped me forget about cancer.
Oh, well, then I'm glad we're helping.
I'm glad we have many videos for you to watch.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Absolutely, me too.
Is Ginger volume turned down? Everybody said volume was good tonight, so I'm going to say it's you. Sorry.
The volume's good tonight?
Well, yeah, everybody's saying it's fine. Don't touch it. So I'm not touching that dial.
Okay.
Not after last night's disaster.
Yeah, we want to kind of watch that. I want a little bit of lighter stuff here.
And we want to remind everybody we're having a special 2-minute, 10-minute drawings tonight. One that will be given away tonight and one that will be given away in a week later. It's going to be so people that are not online, live with us, will have a chance to participate.
And also, if you didn't win tonight, you still have a second chance to win.
Absolutely.
How's that too, right?
Yeah,
so
it's a different form though, so you have to go to 2 different forms. We are
that's
so
good
mean.
to point that out, John.
Well, they'll have 2 different links when we post it and we get ready.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to dry this for a second, and then we're going to put the other flowers in. It looks good, though, huh?
I'm liking it.
I just want you to see how we're building it.
Oh, don't do that. You have to put it. You have to lay it on top of the other one.
Can you see how we're building it?
You're there. Now take it away.
Can you see how I'm building it?
Oh yeah.
See?
As you say, it's all about layers.
Yeah, and the trick it is because here's the thing: red and green make a mess. You mix red and wet green, you got mud.
Wet green, wet.
Wet green, wet. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Bugsy?
What's a wabbit? Silly wabbit, what you say? Anyway, wet green, wet red, make a mess. So when you're doing green, you just be safe, dry it. Dry between your colors. You'll have a much better shot at doing that. Think about placement. Don't just keep doing stuff. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strokes. Look at it, see what you think. Do a few more, that kind of thing. I'm going to dry this now, John.
I will mute you. All right. No, shake the cord down at the bottom. Shake the cord down at the bottom. Well, not so roughly. It's that adapter down there. I've got to rewire it.
You think so?
I know so, because I just had to shake it and it works.
Well, it's good that it works for you.
All right.
Well, now there's no sound because you muted me.
Oh, that's true. Yell loud and they can hear you.
Well, I'm going to just do this, make them think I'm drying it.
Are you dry?
Dry now. It's unbelievable. I'm sitting there, he leaves, he's muted my sound. Am I back on?
Yeah, you're back on.
He leaves, muted my sound, and I'm going, well, now we've just left people with nothing, so I'm just going to pretend I'm drying it. We got to go plug it in. The cord goes all the way down the hall into the bathroom. It's on a separate fuse, so we don't blow everything. All right, so back to the white and the ultramarine blue. Let's put those flowers in. Okay.
So you're going back to the top there?
Yeah, back to the top. We're going to go up here. We'll start here and put in a few here, just using where's that little brush? Didn't I have one little brush?
Yeah, the number 2. I give it back to you.
You did. Then I got distracted. Well, I don't know where that one went, but I'm using this one. Note to self, find it after the show before the paint dries. Okay, so
you
here
have
we go.
paint on it? You used it earlier?
Well, I was using it for all these, right? Yeah, yes. All right, so here we go. So another little bit of little flowers here. Maybe these will look more like hydrangeas, don't they? I'm making the stuff up as I go, so, people always say, what kind of flowers?
Hey, I'd like to thank Miss Evans for the donation.
Thank you very much. Going to do some darker blue back here, a little more ultramarine blue. And say back here. Just keep them so that there's no, you want these little sort of random edges, you guys, where the flowers are coming up and doing their little flower thing, okay? Like that, all bumpy.
I'd like to thank Katrina for her donation. She says, just a little bit to help keep things rolling.
Oh, we appreciate it.
I love watching Ginger create magic on canvas. Truly inspirational.
Thank you. Just appreciate that. I think when you try this, the thing that gets it, we had someone write today, and she had just finished our gazebo painting. And she said she'd only been painting for 6 months, and when she finished this and saw what she'd painted, she was crying. She said it was so great. I got to tell you guys, that the biggest kept secret on the planet is that anybody can learn to paint. Okay, I can't teach you a great idea like the lady that we did the Tuscan door. Someone threw a dog in. I wouldn't have thought of that. Can't teach you a good idea, but this is a skill. It's a language. Stick with it. You can learn it. And the way that art was. I'm going to get on my high horse here. The way that art was taught in the United States. I don't know about you guys in Europe, but in the United States, the way that art was taught was basically every class had the artist and everybody else was kind of ignored. And then basically what they said was, well, even if you were the artist, they said, well, for God's sakes, keep that as a hobby. Don't try to make a living at it because everybody starves. And, do something else. That's basically what they said. Now we're going into a little blue and purple here and white. And, that's basically the gist of what people were saying. And it's so you may have enjoyed art as a kid. Maybe had a teacher that said something horrifically mean to you, which is not unsurprising, and or there was some other kid in the class that was maybe better, caught onto it quicker, it translated better in their mind. But you know what? They didn't let you get away with that with math. They didn't say, oh, the kid over there, they're doing good. Let them be the math person in this class. Give me the crayons, right? They say, oh, no, y'all can learn math. You're going, I don't know, it seems hard. They're going, there's none of this. You can all learn it. But nobody actually told you that was true about art, that you could learn it.
No, they didn't.
They didn't tell you that. And so,
either you had the talent to be an artist or you didn't.
Yeah, now again, good ideas, and what's a good idea? Also, sometimes we're artists for our generation. This is kind of funny too. And you can look at that's kind of true. The kind of things that appeal to us is generational too. You look at some art maybe that some 20-year-old kid did, and maybe well done. It doesn't appeal to you, but all their friends think it's great, and that person will keep that same group of followers till they're 80. That group will sort of travel with them, kind of like music. But that being said, that's what I'm talking about. That's not skill. That's like the good idea. You know what I mean? That's the good idea stuff. Okay. See what we're doing here now? We're starting to lighten up some of the tops of these now, coming up here with a little bit of light purple.
Wants to know, why does your yellow show up on top of the dark and mine doesn't?
So I'm using pure yellow out of the tube.
And dabbing it
on there, not
it
just
down.
touching it and picking it up,
It's just globs of paint sitting there.
Yeah. And if I was doing this large, for instance, if somebody decided to do this large, I would use a gel, like a gel medium. I would use, where's one of these gels? I would use either light impasto modeling paste and add it to there. I would use a heavy gloss gel, not this. I would use a heavy gloss gel, and I would let all these color. I would do this in a few stages and let all this dry, and I'd build the paint up. You can do that. When the water dries out of acrylics, they tend to go flat on you. See, now I'm coming up here with a little bit of white, just tapping the top of these, just saying that these little guys are catching the light. We kind of looked at the black and white drawing, and we all decided, didn't we, that it needed a few little more light flowers up here in the front? Yeah. I thought that's what we said. I don't know, remember saying it. I think we said that, though. Yeah.
Jan, we'd like to thank you for your donation.
Who?
Jan, thank
you so much. Appreciate it very much. See how I got this little one going, kind of hanging down there, doing its own little thing, little flower thing here. Yeah.
Joanne would like to know, how long have you been doing YouTube videos?
About two and a half years, right? About 3 years, 2.5, 3 years.
Was it 2015 we did the first one?
Yeah, we started off with like a $300 camera, and now we're up to thousands of dollars in cameras and equipment. It's a thing to do this. It's a thing to do this, but we do this because we've got an art academy. We don't know how else to tell you about our art academy unless we give you some free videos on YouTube so that you find out what a great art school we've got. So those, we got a great art. We got one of the best art schools, I think, in the country as far as just learning how to paint. Okay, and it's like the most reasonably priced art school that anybody ever heard of. I'm going back here with some light magenta now, kind of lightening these flowers up. Back up in here like this.
Does Ginger think she'll be where she is today? Where was it? Scrolled on me. Hold that thought.
Okay, I'm putting some little roses here. Those little kind of ones.
Yeah. Does Ginger think she'd be where she is today without an art education?
Well, I didn't have one. Guess what? Ginger didn't have an art education. Ginger figured this out on her own. I went to college for art, and I got no education there whatsoever.
No.
But that was just a total waste of time for the year I went. It took all, just total waste of time. I took various classes from different artists. I took I did get an art education. Then I went to art instruction schools. You remember that? Those ones where they sent you had the matchbook covers.
Yeah.
And if you could do that, I did 3 years of that, and I learned the most from them because I actually learned drawing skills. But nobody had ever done acrylics. When I started acrylics in 1965, there was nobody doing acrylics.
It was too new.
They were so new, and I started doing acrylics, and I had to figure out how to do acrylics. A lot of the ways that I teach acrylics, nobody else does. I won all kinds of awards with acrylic paints and stuff because I do, kind of made up a lot of the stuff. But I really educated myself. I mean, you're getting 50 years of figuring this stuff out, and we're just streamlining this so that you can figure it out in a couple years. I mean, that's pretty good, don't you think? You figured, I mean, you'll always get better. The more you do stuff, the more you'll get better, for sure. Now we're doing a little lighter white on these, right? But the actual stuff that I learned and how to make these acrylics work and all this stuff, we're sharing with you. And we're sharing it with our Academy members. Because I have still always believed that art is a skill. And its talent is the good idea, I mean, when Van Gogh did Starry Night, everybody hated it, right? But now everybody loves it, right? So sometimes, people will come up with an idea that maybe other people don't think is all that great. Doesn't mean that you're wrong. Just means maybe it's just not the time for it. I'm going to put some more green leaves up here now, you guys. A little bit of phthalo blue and yellow oxide. We're going to put some green leaves, and let's put a little white with that. There we go.
Why does Ginger prefer cloth terry rags for wiping brush instead of a paper towel?
Oh, because they absorb. I like the terry rags because they absorb. I started off using just old towels I cut up. But I love a good terry cloth towel because you can use it over and over again. It absorbs the water. Paper towels are okay. They're good. Paper towels are good for like when you're doing palette knife because it's such a mess. You just have to kind of wipe your knife off and throw it away. But other than that, I really like. Okay, we're doing some more layers. We need a color in here. What should we put there? I think I've kind of changed this a little bit. Maybe I'll put more of the gold in here. Let's just come up here like this. See, we're doing dark over. Now let's come back with some yellow. Put a little yellow over here that doesn't have green in it. You'll come back with more of this orange color. Let's just come back here like this. Maybe a little bit of magenta. That would be pretty. Let's do a few little magenta flowers in here. That's nice.
I guess there was a question somewhere I missed it about what do you do when you have a painting on glass? What do you do with it afterwards?
Have a painting on what?
Glass.
You paint it on the glass?
Yeah, I paint it on glass and I want to preserve it. We varnish on canvas. What do we do on glass? There must be some kind of, I would probably use a Krylon spray on it.
I don't know. I have no idea. And you'd have to ask Liquitex or one of those people. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. I did one time, in fact, I gave it away. It's so funny, you'd laugh. Years ago, I did a painting when Cinnamon was a baby. We're doing some dark ultramarine blue now, little flowers. Just coming down here on the side of our... anyway, when she was a baby, and I did it on, it was zebras, and I did it on reverse the image. I actually painted it on a piece of paper, then I put this acrylic panel on it. No, I did it on glass. I know an acrylic panel on it. And then I went ahead and painted on that. And then when you turned it over, that was the picture. All right. And then I mounted that against raw silk, and then did glass and framed it. It was really quite a project. And I had that for years. And when the air conditioning people were here, this one young man, he was really sweet, and he said, I love all the paintings you've got here, but that one of the zebra with the zebras was just great. I love that, he said. And I said, do you like that? And he said, yes. I said, take it. So he wandered off with this giant big painting, because I was, if John and I move, I wasn't going to take it with me, and it needed a good home, and he really liked it. And I'd had it for, I don't know, 40, 50 years. I don't know, a long time. It needed to go.
We
Anyway.
had some more PayPal donations. I'd like to acknowledge those.
Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely.
We had a donation from Pamela, Nancy, and Carol.
Thank you, Pamela,
Thank
Nancy,
you very
and
much,
Carol.
Folks. Really, really do appreciate that.
Okay. Do you see how the acrylic, I'm lightening up these flowers and I turn around and they look dark again? Acrylics dry darker and you think you may have a highlight on and you don't. So see how I'm kind of lightening them up a little bit here in a couple places. See the light's kind of coming this way, and I'm going to take some, even my cart got a little bit, I thought I had it all kind of brighter, but I'm going to just lighten the cart in a couple places. Like that in the front, just to kind of bring your eye forward.
Someone made a comment that you did not put white under your yellow this time like you normally do.
I didn't, and it still kind of it still kind of made it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because the yellow went right on top.
Again, because she's putting it on so thick.
Now look, I'm just going to drop some yellow dots up here. Look at this.
See, all she's doing is just dabbing it. She's not actually brushing it down in there.
No, just touching and lifting. And I've got a little glob of paint here.
Do you all wash your paint cloths separately? Yes, we do.
Yeah, if we ever bother to wash them.
We wash them.
Well, occasionally. You know.
Well, one of us does.
Well, good. It's good to know. That's like magic. They just always seem nice to me. Man, it's like magic. Dude, how good is that? Okay?
You have such a rough life. You know that?
The paint cloths always look okay to me. Who knew he was washing them? Wow, what a concept. Wow, awesome, dude.
I don't think we thanked Roxanne for her donation. Thank you, Roxanne.
Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you very, very much. All right, so we're going to make these a little bit stronger here like that. Okay, we'll lighten this up.
Back out a little bit here. Let's see.
Okay, all right, so it's looking pretty good, don't you think?
I think you're almost
now,
there.
We're a little bit dark here with these, so let's lighten those up.
Yep.
Let's just take a little phthalo blue and shall we do a little bit of, we can get away with a little bit of golf course green if we're not crazy, right? So here's a little bit of bright golf course green color. You can do that, but just don't do it so much, right? Here we go. Like that, and let's lighten these up here. On there, like that. And how about over here? This will be a little bit darker, but still we need something here. A little darker green here. Maybe some
we would like to thank the
here.
600 people that happen to be watching this evening. If you
oh
haven't
my gosh,
subscribed,
600
please
people.
do so.
Thank you very much. I am just blown away. We so appreciate you guys. Now here's one of the things you can do when you have red here like this, right? One of the things you can do when you're all done with your you think you've done pretty well with your flowers. One of the things you can do is you can go right into the tube of paint. Now here's like you wouldn't have to, but here's like a Matisse Scarlet. It's like a System 7 color, right? I'm going to tip my brush in there, and I'm going to put it on the palette, right? And I'm going to tap in. Look at how bright that color is. This is what I mean when you can't.
And please
why
use
you have
a clean
to buy,
brush.
you know, when you're talking about why you might want to buy reds. Look at that. Look at how bright that red is. You see the difference? I mean, that's a really, really bright
orangey
red.
That's an orangey red.
Yeah, it's an orangey red. You don't want to overdo it, but there it is, right? Sometimes you can go right out of the tube. Here's another one. Here's an example. This is called ISO Yellow.
Are you going to use that same brush?
Same brush. I'll just rinse it.
Thank you.
And I'll wipe it.
Oh, thank you.
And now look, here's right out of the tube.
Wait.
Now right out of the tube, right? Now look how bright.
That's a nice color.
That yellow is. You can't really make that yellow. See what I mean? And if you sort of look at that, I'm just sort of
touching a little bit of the color surprise.
Yeah, that's your color surprise. That kind of thing. That is what sort of makes something like this, pop. And you can overdo it, but you just barely touch it and say, here's a few little flowers like that, and then you just put it away. See? So
if Golden has those same flavors.
They probably have their own version of some. They do something. They have their own version of, bright yellows, bright reds, those kinds of things that can really pop a painting. And then what we're going to do here down at the bottom is let's make a few little grasses down here that are a little brighter because they sort of dried. Did you notice that? I did. Let's see. Come back over here.
No, they didn't because it wasn't in their screen.
All right, so back up here like this, we're just going to brighten up some grasses down here and just put a few little bright ones up in the front like that. And then I'm going to rinse the brush, and we're going to put some little tiny purple and white flowers here, maybe magenta with a little tiny bit of ultramarine blue in that. And let's just tap on just something that might be growing up here on the base like that. And we'll put a little white on for the tips. We're making up some flowers. I don't know what these are, but I'm making them up. I think I do good making up flowers. Okay. I had an artist, Jack White. He was one of my favorite artists, and he really felt when you did flowers that you should go get a flower magazine or something and really paint flowers that you'd heard of. Nah, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's wrong. I just didn't want to do that, right? They still work. These translate as flowers, right? A few little petals of something that fell down here, right? And that's our picture. I think that came out pretty good. Don't you think so?
I am duly impressed.
I could probably do a little bit of something down here on the side here, some little brighter green fell down here. There you go, like that. Every once in a while, you might look at this tomorrow and say, okay, that dried too dark. I got to brighten that up, or I got to darken that up. But that's generally the gist of how you might do a painting like this. And now, for instance, this little area right here where these are, I just might take a little white now and magenta and blend that out a little bit so it's just not a straight line. Kind of soften that up here, right? Just something like that. That could have been blended in a little better, but that's basically our picture. And then I think we could use something bright over here too, just a little bit brighter, right over here. What do you guys think? This is where you can get kind of creative. And just bring some color over here. Okay, so then I will sign this, and we'll get down to give our painting giveaways. What do you think?
I'm excited for that.
And,
beautiful.
Yeah, I think that came out really. I think that came out really well.
I like it.
I probably could have done a little bit of something more on the wheel.
I knew it. She's good. You sign it, and then you go back to painting.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
Why
saying.
is that?
Well, because I look at something and I'm thinking, well, yeah, but do you do that? Well, yeah, but
Yeah. Ginger, okay. What artist are you most jealous of?
Jealous of? Well, I don't know that I'm jealous of anybody.
No.
I really am not. I'm really not jealous. There are artists that I really admire, but I'm not really jealous of them. I always admire people that can do, like Chihuly, can do that stained glass, and that kind of stuff. Just think that's so cool. And, again, that's a talent and a skill, and I think it's very impressive. All right, there's our painting. I think this is cool. We're going to do a few giveaways. Now, how this giveaway is going to work, the first one we're going to give away tonight, we'll send it anywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter, no Mars or anything, but I don't care where you live, we'll mail it to you. So you can enter. John's got the rules of how you're going to enter. I like to kind of focus on things that on YouTube lessons we've had that are on YouTube in the past, right? So I'd like to kind of focus a little bit on that because I'd like you to go back and maybe look at our channel and look at all these beautiful lessons that are here. For instance, did you guys ever see this lesson? This one with Tuscan Balcony. That's one of my favorites. It's beautiful.
Let me back out a little bit here. Here we go.
Tuscan Balcony. This is a great lesson.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
And, it's very popular. If you haven't done this one yet, it's really pretty, and that's on YouTube also. So just saying, we got some great stuff on YouTube. And somewhere over here, I've got some, oh, this is an interesting one. All right, we got a couple things. You're going to
work with those?
I'm going to work with these two because I've got them, right?
Okay. I like a challenge.
You like a challenge? I'm trying to remember what I thought I was going to paint.
You didn't tell me because I asked you.
Well, I thought about it this afternoon. It's left my mind completely, but I had a plan earlier.
I'm going to put a link to the giveaway. No, not that one. That one. Not that first one. Wait till the second one comes up. The secret word is flowers.
Okay. Secret word. It's a good secret.
I'm cutting off your head a little bit with my banner, but you'll have to deal with that. The gals have got the link. They will put it out there.
Okay.
Okay, let me know when you're ready for the timer, boss.
All right, maybe I'll start with this one first. This one's not inspiring me at the least. Looking at that, going, nothing comes to mind on this one, right?
You got something for this one?
Yeah, I must have something for this one. All right, we're going to go for this one, right?
You want 10 or 12?
Let's give me 12, but
12
I may
it
want a
is.
little longer, but give me 12, right? We're going to do it like
Amazon?
this.
No. Sorry, not you. We're going to use Alexa. Alexa, give me a 12-minute timer, please.
12 minutes, starting now.
All right. So while she's off and doing that, the link is at the top of the screen. It's also being distributed by the gals there. And I'll be able to tell when entries start coming in because it counts for me. If you get an error, please try again. Some people had to do it like 3 times and they did get through. Do I have the right date on? We've had one come in.
All right, so this
The
is fun.
form
We're trying to
should
get
say
better at
January
this, you guys, and we just think
15th.
this is fun. And again, we just want to welcome all our new Facebook members that decided, have joined us, and we had some new Academy members we want to welcome too, signed up over the weekend. So welcome you guys. And
if the link is not working for you as you see it being presented there, look on the screen and type it in. Type it in what's called your URL. That's the address at the top of your browser. Some place you people don't go to very often anymore. For whatever reason.
well, it's interesting. One of the things that is interesting to me is that when people are having trouble finding stuff on our website or signing up, 99% of the time, they're not reading.
Yeah.
They're looking for buttons to push, but they're not reading any instructions whatsoever. And when we were on this, our last cruise, they've got a computer room people can go to, and we happened to be up there when some people had rented the ship's computers that they have for guests in order to sign up for, get some airline tickets or something, okay? That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, it was a change in schedule.
To change the schedule, they had to change their airline tickets or whatever, confirm something, whatever it was they were trying to do. And this woman was having so terrible a time. And, John is so good with people, computers. I said, John, this woman is obviously so upset.
Distress.
You've got to help her. You know what I mean? You've got to, you've got to do something, right? Just do something, right? And so he was trying to figure out what her deal was, right? And what we discovered, which is pretty much what seems to happen to everybody, is that she was not. See, I'm put out some more white paint. She was not reading the instructions. It was perfectly. She just didn't bother to read what they told her to do on the website of the airline people. And they pay those airline websites. If you own a company like United or Continental or one of them, they paid some computer guy millions of dollars and psychologists and everybody else to figure out the easiest way for you to figure out their deal, right? I mean, they did that, okay? And yet, this woman wasn't getting it, and it was because she wasn't taking the time to read the instructions. And I can't really fault that because I don't like to read instructions either. I mean, I do get it. I had a washing machine one time and it did all kinds of tricky things. This was years ago, and I just never bothered to read the instructions and what else it would do. If I couldn't figure it out, gave it about 5 minutes of my life, and then I moved on, right? But really, for computer stuff and figuring out how to do things. And then for those of you who just say, I don't want to read anything, I want to, I just want someone to show me. John's got this YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to John's YouTube channel, I'm going to invite you to do it. It's Sammy the Tech Bear, and what he's got on there are help videos, like things like how to watch how to watch YouTube with an iPad. Things that you might want to know, right? The technically challenged world we live in. John's explained it all. And if you have a video that you would like Sammy and the Tech Bear to make, feel free to do that. you know, feel free
Just put
to
in
call
one of the
them.
comments on the videos and
Yeah, to
get
tell
that
him what
better work.
you'd like to see, because he makes these really simple, easy to understand videos. I mean, they're great. And we just did them for our guys, and we decided to do a YouTube channel so that everybody could kind of benefit from it. And you know, and nobody's trying to get thousands of followers or anything on it, but I think you guys would like the. I think you guys would really enjoy the. I think you really would enjoy the
little tutorials we put
the
together.
tutorial that John's put together. I think you'd really probably like it. You know, myself, just as an app, you know, I really think you would really enjoy what he's done there. Just a thought, just as an apt and happy thought, right? And I really hope we don't get I guess we've got this huge storm coming in tomorrow.
No, that's what they say. There'll probably be another beach day.
I'm going to dry this real quick.
Oh. Go for it. All right, the Tech Bears channel, either Winnie's will work, or he does have his own URL with the Tech Bear name in it. His uses a /C instead of /user, which I'm not sure why. I guess they ran out of space or whatever. But that's what his is. That's the Bears.
Yeah, the Tech Bears. So I really invite you to to subscribe on. You know, it's really about artists who want to do stuff with their phones, their iPads, all their stuff, right?
Yeah, whatever device. I mean, it's really any question you come up with, we'll see if we can tackle it. We go for it. Well, we're up to 302 entries so far, so I think we're doing pretty good tonight.
Oh, good. I mean, I'm glad you guys are figuring out how to enter. And we're going to do just a random drawing when I'm done here. And then we're going to do another picture where you can enter and...
you'll have up to a week to enter it, so don't
but it's
rush
one
over.
entry per person, right?
Yeah, one entry per person. I'm trying to find that you made that post in the clubhouse about the limitation.
Oh, it's got my picture on it. Look for my picture.
Yeah,
what we're saying about the clubhouse is somebody wrote me yesterday and said, I don't want to be kicked out of the art club. Anybody that's a member right now of our Facebook club, you're in there. You're in there. You're grandfathered in. You're there, guys. Right? You're absolutely in there. You're our people. We're good. You got us, right? But we thought that because so many of the clubs on YouTube are so huge, right? So huge, our Facebook are so huge that you show your artwork. God knows anybody would see it, have a chance to comment on it. It just becomes too unwieldy. So we are going to say that our Facebook club, Ginger Cook Acrylic Painting Club on Facebook, which we would love to invite you to join, we just want to keep that to a limited number of members. You know, so like just around 4,000. You know what I mean? And the reason being is because we want to be able to comment on your artwork and encourage you guys as artists, and I think that makes it really difficult to do if the group gets too big. I don't know about you guys, but we felt that our members were all very happy with that. So you know, we've got a ways to go before we reach 4,000. But if you guys want to come join now, and then after that, then if you're any member of our Acrylic Online Art Academy will automatically get a membership into the into that.
You'll be invited in.
And invited in.
Oh, it's looking pretty good there.
So anyway, that's kind of what we're doing here. And
well, let me go ahead and read it. The way you wrote it, because we had a chance to really read it.
Okay.
The people are responding. When you fill out this particular form, you get nothing back. You get no acknowledgement that you've entered it. You get no number. You get nothing. You get nothing but our love and appreciation. Okay, so Ginger writes in the club, why would we limit our Facebook club to 4,000? If you are now a member of our group, you will still be in our group when we reach 4,000. We are putting a cap on the group because we want you and others to be able to show your artwork, ask questions, and have the joy of interacting with other acrylic artists. Make new friends and love coming here. All posts are approved by our moderators before being published to the club. With too many people, the kind and nurturing nature of this club would be lost. So, after we reach 4,000, the only new members accepted will be people who are members of Ginger Cook Online Academy at gingercooklive.gallery. Everyone else in our group is grandfathered in, so don't go into panic mode. If you are reading this, then you are safe and in the clubhouse. Well, it was read to you. So, that should be clear as to what we're doing. And currently we're at about 2,400. Just so you know. Yes, there are questions on the form. You have questions on the form. There's 3 questions. You are required to answer all 3. Not 1, not 2, 3. They're simple questions. Not as hard as the first time we put them up there. The second contest will be after we have a drawing for this one. This is the 10-minute drawing. Everyone who gets this is going to win the painting that she's painting currently, not the wheelbarrow. That will eventually go up on the auction site.
Yeah, all right. So how are we doing? Are we doing pretty good?
Alexa, how much time's left on the timer?
You have 1 minute left on your 12-minute timer.
I have 1 minute left.
Well, I think I did pretty good, don't you?
I think you did darn fantastic, not just pretty good.
Oh, good.
I think I could have given you 11 and you could have done it. So that should take care of any of those questions. If you break a rule in the clubhouse, you have 3 strikes and you're out, depending upon the infraction. If you do something that's blatantly, obviously not acceptable, you will be banned.
What it is the what we've created, thanks to our 6 moderators who do all that. I just come in and make happy suggestions on artwork sometimes for people. But what our moderators have do, and it's all volunteer moderators, what they've done and allowed us to do is make a lovely, safe place for you guys to put your artwork, okay?
Share your thoughts and ideas about acrylic painting.
That's it.
Your time is up. Alexa, timer off. You happy with that?
I am. I think that is just greatly
We're up
fun.
to 340. We trust everybody is in. Sorry, Patty. I was going to use my Amazon, but she was sleeping. I could have used Echo. I have all my toys with me. See, when Ginger, she's over in the other studio, I have to have somebody to talk to, so I have all my girls here.
All right, I'm signing that. What do you guys think? You like it?
I like it. All right, we're going to close the door on this entries. And we're going to tally them up.
And we will announce a winner on that. Should I be starting the other one as we're talking?
Yeah, you can get started, and we'll get a timer going after.
I don't like that one. I need something else.
Do you want me to go up and get them to you before I?
Yeah, can you give me the? I thought I had a stack of them over here, but
I put things away.
well, you put things away. Well, what do you do with people that put stuff away? What can you say, right?
I'll give you a small sample.
Yeah, you don't give me a stack of something. All right, thank you. This is what we're talking about. We just use the extra paint, and we do, we just take whatever's left on the palette when we're at the end of the day, and we. Oh, this is pretty. That's neat. That's kind of pretty.
Oh, you like that one?
Well, I like them all, but I mean that one's different. It's a little different than this one was fun, right? This our little flower thing right here, and but I like this too, right?
Okay, so let's do this. Let me change a couple things here. 1 second, folks. We have to turn the other form on. Now, you do not have to rush and hurry and do this next one. It's there for a week. But if you get in now, you won't forget about doing it. Okay. The link's at the top of the screen again. The gal should have it, be able to paste it in there for you. For those that are watching it after the fact, the screen at the top. It's a bit.ly link, and we will run it for a week. I think I have it closing
We're
on
going to announce
Saturday.
the winner next Monday.
Next Monday. I think we have it running through Sunday. To the beginning of next Sunday's show is when we will keep the form open.
So when we're announcing it, Monday or Sunday?
We're announcing it on Monday, but we're closing it at the beginning of Sunday's show.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have two forms open at the same time.
Makes sense, right?
All right, you should hear me now. Can you hear me now? So the link's at the top of the screen. And she's off and running.
Off and running, painting something.
And I'm going to see how many entries we've got. John, we didn't hear you. Basically, I was just saying that the link is at the top. Oh, the secret word for that is week. W-E-E-K is the magic word. Week.
Okay.
All right, so we had a total. So I have to have a microphone like Ginger has, walks around with us.
Well, we could get you one.
Eventually. 345 entries.
Ooh, cool. That's a lot, you guys. I'm so glad everybody entered. Right?
Yep. Would you like a number, or would you like my gal to pick a number?
Why don't you have your gal pick a number, John?
1 in 345.
That's a lot of entries, so why don't you have her pick one? I know the number I'd pick, but
Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 345.
Your random number between 1 and 345 is 237.
237.
that's the number I would have picked. That is so weird.
I think it's very weird.
I mean, that's the number I was going to pick.
230.
I should write down the number I'm going to pick and see how close I come to your random person.
She's not a random person. What do you mean a random person? What are you saying? A random person. That's a random number that Alexa gave us. Not a random person.
Okay. Fine. You are so sensitive for these little.
They're my girls.
Apparently so. Okay. We'll just go with him on that, right? Anyway, I almost got the number. That's all I was saying.
Cindy Simmons is the winner of the. What was the first one?
It was called the.
Yeah, what's it called?
Blue Cup.
Blue Cup. Cindy
Simmons, congratulations.
Simmons wins.
Congratulations, Cindy.
Blue Cup with flowers. There you go. Cindy, if you're out there now, just go to our Contact Us page, give us your address, mailing address, and we'll get that out to you as quickly as possible. Now, those that are going to do this other contest that we're running right now, this is going to be called something different.
This will be called the Purple Vase.
Purple Vase.
Okay. We've got all kinds of originality here. Don't you like that? This is called the Purple Vase.
You're really going out on a limb on this one.
I know.
All right, so we'll do that. So Cindy Simmons, congratulations. So now, you people that are watching it now or the recording, you have until Saturday, January, who knows? Anybody know what Saturday, January is? I think I put on the form.
Well, today is what? So in case somebody's watching this in
the
2 years.
21st, until January.
What year are we talking about, John?
January 21st, 2018 at 2:30 p.m. All entries must be received prior to that date and time. That means before.
Drying.
Well, there's an advance warning for the drying. Well, Cindy, congratulations. I hope you enjoy the Blue Cup and flowers.
What's that?
I'm sorry I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Cindy, our winner.
Oh, good for Cindy. Yeah, great job, John. Glad you're talking to Cindy.
Absolutely. All right, so that takes care of that, and we're doing the second one. It's going to be a week-long contest, so you got plenty of time. 1 entry per person. For the second, hey, you girls got the second one? Let's see if I can create that. Let's see. Doing all this silly different computers. Go on. Gently. So at the top of the screen there, just type it in as you see it. And your URL address bar is at the top. Is where it tells the computer where you want to go visit. I suppose if you type this entire URL in the search engine, it would also work.
I don't understand any of that. If I was new, if I was listening, I would be so confused. Explain it better.
Well, most people don't use the address bar anymore. So
I don't think I ever did. So don't say any more here.
Well, they don't.
No, and since I'm the typical user at my
You're a
age group,
typical user. You do not use the address bar.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said. What part did I stutter?
So I have no way to tell you how to get here because you don't use the address bar.
Well, why don't you explain what the address bar is, John?
The address bar is what I did. It's at the top of your browser, but see, all the browsers, a lot of browsers are turning it off now. On most browsers, it's at the top where you would see the HTTP : or HTTPS : / www. I'm assuming it's working because we've got 265 entries, so the link must be out there. I can't get mine to work. I'm missing something. YouTube. Oh, I've got an A. I was so close. Spelling counts. Even I did it wrong.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Now, I will have time to sort these and make sure there's only 1 entry per person. If you do it more than once, I'll just delete one of them.
Well, then you have to delete a lot.
No, I can just sort and do it.
Okay. So just be kind to us. It's a lot of work to do these, and so if John has to delete one, that's a pain.
Yeah, I'd rather not have to do that. All right. So that should get you going. All right, next time we'll be on live will be next Sunday. Yeah, right, next Sunday at 2:30. Should be the 20th, I guess.
Yeah, 21st. We'll be live then, but we're going to be doing
21st.
Do you have the picture that we're doing for the Wave and Water that we're going to try to get released right away?
Go ahead and entertain the crowd while I'm gone. I'm not sure where that one is.
Well, we have these things stacked. He's got it. I just wanted you to see we have something simple. When on our Art Academy, we have we have 2 different kinds of lessons. We have over 300 lessons in our video lesson library. And then for those of you who want to focus just on water, like waterfalls, waves, ocean waves, all that stuff, and you want to go above and beyond on all that stuff, then what we have is we have what we call our Wave and Water Masterclass, and that every month we try to put something up that's really interesting. Sometimes it's a 1 cookie, sometimes it's a box of cookies, but we try to, maybe we're just explaining how to do, close-ups of waves, and sometimes we're explaining how to do really complicated stuff. Sometimes it's rivers, there's all kinds of things that might entail, painting and painting water. And if you paint it, my thinking behind this when I started the master class wasn't so you'd have to be a master to do it, so that you could master water. If all you painted was water for a while, you'd get really good at it. And that was what I was hoping that I would see happen, and that's what I am seeing happen, is for sure, is I'm seeing that. you know, like that for sure. We are seeing where people are getting better at that. See what the contrast does when you put a little shadow under here like that? See, I mean, you come back with your lights and your darks and that kind of thing. You know, it just kind of makes a difference. And let's see, maybe I want to do something like this. Okay. There. All right, you guys, I think I did pretty good with this one, don't you think, John, in a fairly short amount of time.
Now, the second giveaway will be drawn on next Monday's live presentation. You do not have to be present to be winner.
You know, the thing about painting flowers is if you buy them, they cost a lot of money. When you paint them in, you can just add a few more, right? If you're at the store and you go, well, these would look nice. Oh, they want another $10 for these, really? But when you're painting them, you could just put a few in, huh? Kind of fun, right?
I'm liking that one too. I don't think we should get rid of either one of these.
So let's go back with our reds down, give it our second coat. Doesn't hurt to, you know, flowers are one of those things where you can give them a second coat, like these little orange flowers, doing a little bit thicker paint now. See? And then same thing with the magenta one. A little bit thicker with even with the white. There you go. See? Just makes a difference when you come back and, you know, add a bit more. All right, so
if
that
you're
is...
entering now, you're entering for this painting that's on the screen at the moment, which is the purple vase. It's a vertical.
Yeah, that's what you are. That's what you're entering, right?
That's what you're entering for.
Yeah. I want to do one little thing here. I want to put something in front of this leaf here. Does it sort of start going up like
And
that?
next Monday on the 22nd, we'll announce the winner. The winner.
There. See how I push that leaf in the back?
I like
Putting
that.
something in front of it. You know,
Yep.
sometimes you have to look at that. And I don't know, what do you want for 10 minutes? But, you know, you can kind of see where, you know, you can get it, you know, one side's lighter, one side's darker. You got a shadow. You got a few little green things. In my little world of vases and flowers and stuff, I always have a lot of stuff on the table that fell down because apparently these things need water, and if you don't water them, they all go to pieces. You notice that? But John got me some beautiful flowers. I should take, you know, maybe they'll still be good by next week. I'll take a picture. All right. So I wanted to show you before I go. I wanted to show you what our Wave and Water class for the month of January was.
I've got to do things. Let me turn off things.
Let me move this for a minute.
Just don't do things. Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I can find the palette. Got to turn the palette camera off.
Gonna move this.
Because these are big.
Yeah, these are huge. This one is
Let me
how big
turn
was
me
this one?
off.
24 by 30.
I'm off. Okay, I've kept you.
Can I go?
Go. Look at the side of that thing.
Let me just move this back. I know I can't even move that back.
No.
Can you see it? Can you
Yep.
see it?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you move it around.
All right, like this? Hold it
Yeah,
like
just
this?
leave it. Don't touch it. There it is.
All right, there it is, you guys. Isn't that pretty?
That's not the one we're doing this night.
No, that was last last year's. We have this. This is a Wave and Water, but that's not the one we're doing. We lied. But that is one of our Wave and Water masterclass pictures. That was from last December, and that's a cool one, right? No pun intended, with all the snow. And this is, again, one of our old dead artists. This is a Norwegian artist that originally did this in the late 1800s. And I think you could, the thing about going to Europe is that they still keep stuff. They don't demolish stuff every 10 minutes because it looks slightly old. They keep it, and you probably still see this today. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't this plane today. Here's the one. Here's the one we're doing. All right, sorry. Well, I'm not the one that hands people things. All right, so this is a similar artist, and again, similar painting, but this is more in the summertime. And I love the reflections, the stuff in the water. Again, you've got, you see that, John, easily? I love this. This is our Wave and Water Masterclass for January. I think it's kind of a cool one. And the thing is, these lessons are hours and hours long, and they take hours to...
It takes longer to edit them than it does
for
to
me to paint them. If it takes me 5 hours to paint them in video, then it takes John maybe 20 hours to edit it. So that's why it takes a little longer to get these out to you, but I think they're well worth the effort. So that's what we've got. So that's sort of cool.
Again, we're shooting for the horses next to you.
Yeah, the horse is here? Oh, you showed the horse. Yeah, and this is the video lesson library painting for one of them for January. This is our kind of magical, mystical horse in water. All right, and that's another one of these really big, long lessons for our video lesson library.
And that's one that totally changed directions after she painted it. It was a brown horse. Sat on it for a week or two and said, nope.
Don't like it, I'm redoing it. And I redid the whole thing, and you got to see both, which is kind of cool, right?
So you can either keep it a brown or you can go to the white.
And the reason I did that was because, and not just to, start again, was because I wanted you to see the process. Sometimes you have something a certain way, you've had it for a while, and say, you know what, this isn't working for me, I'm going to change it. So this is our last giveaway for the night. Let me put this back too. Our little flower card. I hope you guys do this. This was really fun. And for our friend in the Caribbean, I hope I gave you enough measurements to kind of draw this in. Okay? I think you can do it. It's a box, darling, with a circle, kind of an oval here.
Yeah.
Not even a circle. I think you'd have it. And I'm going to go. Someone's always asked us, what are these pens we use? We have these Posca pens. They really last the longest time, and they're opaque. And I love the white for signing my name. We think that's just great. And I always put like a red slash through my name. And so I'll tell you, I usually make you guys look it up, but I'll tell you why that is, for those of you who don't know, is that it happens that in Europe, particularly France, when you're leaving like Paris or La Bastide or one of those towns, they don't say, like in Houston, they would say leaving Houston or leaving Texas. But there they just put the name of the city, a big red slash through it, says you've left town. So when I put a red slash through my name, it means the painting is finished. That's my logo. Okay, which I think is kind of cool. So there's our flowers. This was our other flower painting for the night, and we congratulate our winner. Hope you guys had fun with that. Two totally different faces. And here's our flower card. And I look forward to you guys that are sharing with us on Facebook. We've seen a lot of wonderful paintings from the Tuscan door, and I love the fact that you changed the colors of the flowers. I mean, I just decided these color flowers. Maybe you want to put some different colors in. That's how you kind of make it your own, or do it just like this, or you've got so many options of what you can do. And also, just as a thought, you could do a different background altogether. You could do kind of a pale background like this. Doesn't have to be this purple if purple isn't your thing. It sure is mine, so I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, the first Wave and Water is a 20 by 24.
First was 20 by 24, the first Wave and Water I showed you.
The second is a 16 by 20.
16 by 20 is the second one. It's the one we're doing for this month.
And then the horsey is an 18 by 24.
And the horse is 18 by 24. Okay, so I hope that those are helpful. So thank you guys so much for being part of our painting community. We want to just congratulate ourselves too, because apparently, according to somebody or other, we were announced that we were one of the top 10 acrylic painting channels on YouTube, and that's because of you guys and hanging in there with us. Maybe one day we'll get right up there to the top ones, and it all happens because you subscribe and you share your videos and you put the word out. So thanks. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week.
All right. I think that concludes another exciting episode with Miss Ginger.
I'm going to put all these here, right?
Well, you can do that, but...
Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of cool,
good.
Right? Like that?
Yeah, you're good.
There you go. All right, you guys. This was fun, huh?
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central Time.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm a student, I say with glee, of Ginger Cook's Academy. Take your time and do not rush. Use ruby satin, silver brush. Don't use black and mix the green. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises as I learn. I'll be an artist, wait and see. Ginger means the world to me.